Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about more about these wars. You know, the government has been at war ever since, man, '64, the war on poverty. This is what I'm saying with this commentary. And if this is the second, you go back and listen to the one that was done yesterday. That was the 23rd of November. Go listen to that one, and you understand there more better what I'm talking about. First off, greetings everyone. This is the 10 o'clock scholar. Oh yeah, we are. We are scholar over here. We take that negative term and we flipped it to something very, very outstanding and positive. And I want you to do the same thing with your life. When they want to tell you something as a negative, you flip it because it's really positive. Otherwise, they wouldn't waste their time calling it negative. You got it? You get it. The point I'm making in these programs, and oh, this is the seal of our estate. This is our estate seal. So you have to learn Hebrew to learn what the letters are meaning and what they symbolize. It's not hard. It's not easy. It just takes dedication to do anything. They make you poor, then they have a war against poverty. They bring drugs then they have a war against drugs. They make the schools where you don't learn anything, then they have a war against illiteracy. And let me tell you what this no left behind means. Putting, I'm putting, to the last video, I'm just putting things that I should have talked more about in the last video. So go listen to that one first, and you understand what's being said. When they say no child left behind, that means if you flunked the grade for whatever reason, they wouldn't allow you to repeat that grade. This means that no matter what the child performance was in school, you had to pass him to the next grade. Yeah, that's why a lot of children are illiterate because they were supposed to repeat a grade, but the government said, no, no, we're not going to leave any child behind. We're going to pass them regardless of their inability to perform. That's enforcing literacy. That's creating an illiterate base. See, this is they want you to be illiterate. They don't want you to learn. So they're making it policy now that we're not going to help you get educated. We're not. And that's why people can graduate from high school and don't know the level of a third grade or let's say fifth grade. It was never taught. And that way, by not knowing the basics, they don't know what's going on. They can't read. They can't understand what people are talking about. The newscasts are like foreign language to them because they don't know the words. They're illiterate. And this was done by design to keep you a slave. There's no other way to say it. Yeah, all these laws were against us as a community of people to keep us in a uncompetitive status. Make sure we can't compete. Wow, that is so wicked. That is so evil. You're taking a child and you're making sure they don't learn anything. You're forcing him to be criminal. You're criminalizing him. You're bringing drugs into our communities. And then you criminalize him for experimenting with them. While other communities, they get a little tap on the hand. Don't do that anymore. Not us. We're criminalized. And I don't know if y'all can see what I see, but all these laws are against us. The war against crime. Yeah, that was started by Nixon and Reagan somewhere back there. I think 71. So that must have been Nixon. Yeah, and people embellished it. Clinton came and made it big, three strike rule, you out. Then Biden came with these humongous sentences for these petty offenses. That's Biden. That's your President Biden did that. So I'm just giving you the history of why things are the way they are. That war against crime, it would cause them to have a new prison industry where the prisons are made private corporations. They're not public anymore. You know, when something is public, then you can oversee them. You can make sure certain things are not taking place with public policy. But with private corporations, you don't have no control over that. They do what they want to do. So all these wars were just to get us more and more targeted as a community. So I would just want you to know what's going on. And the Patriot Act that targets free speech, hate crimes. Now let me ask you a question. A crime is a crime. Why do you need hate crime? You need hate crime because you want to reduce the sentences on certain criminal acts. Hate crime doesn't really make you pay a higher price for discriminating on somebody. It gives you a lesser sentence by saying, "Oh, it's a hate crime. Let him go. Don't be so harsh on him. He's just hating." Before hate crime, a crime is a crime. It has nothing to do with race or color. So when you say hate crime, you put it in a category that it can be minimized. That's what I'm looking for. You don't believe me? Go do the research. See, I've done the research. I know what I'm talking about. And I want you to do the same. All right, that's enough for now. Let you think about that and do your research.